Welcome to Alberta Conservation Association's Harvest Your Own podcast, the resource for everything hunting, navigating through the field, the butcher shop, and the kitchen. Life is all about great food. Let's get started.
Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Brad Fenson, an avid outdoor enthusiast who has worked as a freelance journalist, photographer, and public speaker for over 3 decades. I have hunted, fished, and foraged all my life and hope to share my passion for the outdoors. Along the way, I want to encourage everyone to harvest wild proteins and enjoy the satisfaction of providing the next meal for your family. Our goal is to educate, entertain, and inspire individuals to get outdoors and create a connection between food, health, and your future meals. Welcome to Harvest Your Own and another episode of BrAdvice or BrAdvice. We're always trying to keep people entertained, informed, and educated about what's going on in the great outdoors in Alberta. And Harvest Your Own is a very unique program. I believe it was started in 2017, so it's been around a long time. It was actually developed on the back of a napkin in a restaurant, and a flow chart and information was written down and brought back to the office and taken from there into a point of delivery. And it's been pretty exciting. You know, we've got a very interactive website at harvestyourown.ca. It's an independent site of anything else. And there's lots of information there on hunting, how to get started, food. It's just a really comprehensive library of everything going on. So, you know, Alberta is one of the few jurisdictions in North America that has seen a growth in hunter numbers. And that includes youth and women, which is very exciting. It was part of the goal of the program, and although we can't take full credit for that because there's so many other organizations in our province working towards education and promoting hunting, like Alberta Hunter Education Instructors Association and even our Fish and Wildlife Department. You know, they're all out there, from Pheasants Forever to the others. Everyone has a common goal, and that's to maintain, sustain, and or grow hunting, and for more public acceptance of it. You know, that's a big part of what we do in the program. There's a lot of people in society that sit on the fence and don't know if they like it or not. So showing them how hunters utilize their harvest and how it can be a wonderful part of your meals and planning and growing families is very critical and important. You know, they've really expanded the program as well. If you look at the website, there's lots of interaction, especially in the last year, on Facebook and Instagram. And the site gets more regular visits all the time. You know, there's almost 90,000 page views on Harvest Your Own website. There's almost 4,000 Facebook followers and 2,400 Instagram followers. So, you know, there's also a lot of room for improvement there. I'd ask anyone listening to share those social media sites with their friends on the share button on their own page, and try to get other people interested, or just let them know that we're out there. Inform them, share that message. You know, it's a big part of it. You know, and then the other thing about Harvest Your Own is nothing replaces that real life experience. So we offer information on how to get started or how to find a mentor and all the rest of it. It's a pretty exciting way to look at hunting, promote hunting, and of course, we've also started the podcast. You know, we've got well over 100 episodes now. Our very first podcast was in July of 2020, and that was with Todd Zemmerling, and we went over a complete review of Harvest Your Own and ACA and what the organization is and what the program is, how it's being delivered, why it's structured in a certain way, and the people that we're trying to target. So lots of information out there. You know, the podcast has covered a wide range of topics, everything from how to hunt sandhill cranes when we got our first season, to how to pick a shotgun, to how to cook different things, how to make venison taste better, how to butcher and make sausage, and all these other things. It's very comprehensive to take somebody along an entire tour of learning how to hunt, getting in the field, and utilizing it so that everybody loves it, enjoys it, and wants more. So that's, you know, very useful overall. You know, and it's also important to talk about other programs that it ties into. You know, Alberta Hunt Log, we've talked about it several times, but it's a citizen science program where hunters can get involved in providing data and information about the WMUs that they hunt in, the wildlife management units, and what they see. What they see is very important because surveys are very expensive, so we can't do them all the time. So getting information from people in the field can make a critical difference. and what would really make a difference if more people participated. And of course, you can do that at any time of year. It doesn't have to be during the hunting season. So remember, if you're out in the field, it's also a good way to track what you're seeing and maybe even make you a little bit more observant about what's going on around you. Another one is the Discover Guide. It covers hunting, fishing, and much more. It's got all the different conservation sites in Alberta. It lists how to get to them, how many acres there are, what you could expect to find there, how to access it, and all the rest. The number one complaint we get from hunters is having a place to go. And with so many different conservation sites in Alberta and so much public land, including our large expanse of boreal forest, foothills, and all the rest of it, there really isn't a reason people should feel they don't have a place to go. If you get the Discover Guide, you can get downloaded as an app on an Android or iPhone. You can get a hard copy at different places, but look it up. You can search for a site within a certain number of kilometers of where you're at or where you plan to visit, and you can find different places to go hunting, berry picking, fishing, and all the rest of it. So it really enables people, and it works with the other programs that ACA and other organizations have and are delivering on a continual basis. So what's new in Harvest Your Own? Well, we've decided to include fishing to the realm. So when we look at fishing in Alberta, our licenses are almost 500,000. Anglers' numbers are up, just like hunter numbers are up, and that might be to the influx of people moving to Alberta. But there's a lot of interest in the Alberta outdoors. If you travel worldwide and talk to hunters and anglers, people want to come and fish the Bow River, or they want to come and hunt Alberta whitetails or elk or moose. So it's a very sought after destination. And we often take it for granted that it's in our backyard and it's always going to be there. So, the angling side of it, with all the anglers, our youth and our seniors don't need a license. We have free participation days on 2 different weekends of the year. There potentially is 1 million anglers that get out annually in Alberta. That's a significant number of people that are in the field doing things, so it's important that we reach them with the same messages that we do with hunters. That's to educate, inform, empower, and make sure that if they want to get in the field, they have the information to do so. And, we'll be looking at everything from inspiring people to go to certain destinations to what kind of line do I choose, whether I'm fishing a lake, a trout stream, a river? Is there different benefits from each? How do I do that effectively and economically and all the rest of it? So the fishing side of it, there's lots of places to go and grow. And again, promoting public acceptance. We might take it for granted that fishing is different than hunting, but it's not. Any type of consumptive use is going to have public pressures on it. So the more people that we can get in the general public to accept consumptive use in a responsible manner, the better off we all are. It helps to ensure our future. Educating people whether they want to go hunting or fishing, and even if they don't, gives all of us a benefit into the future. So, our main goals are health, food, future meals, and responsible angling. So it's very important that we grow the Harvest Your Own program to include fishing and take it that next step from just hunting. And if you look at the hunting side of it, there is a comprehensive library. It's basically a library of knowledge. There's everything in there from how to get started, how to pick a shotgun, all the rest of it, like I already said. And if you go to Harvest Your Own, the fishing header is missing at this point because it's just brand new, but you watch for it. It'll come back soon. There'll be a fishing link on there, and it'll be set up the same as how the hunting information is delivered. So we're looking forward to having a diversified Harvest Your Own with hunting and fishing content. And of course, we'll always keep the seasonal things at the top. So if duck season's opening up, we'll do that. But, if there's a time in the fall when the walleye fishing is prime and we should target it, we'll also be looking at that. So it'll be a combination and blending things together, and maybe even making sportsmen a little bit more of an opportunist when they go out by taking a firearm, bow, and a fishing rod. So it's important to note that Harvest Your Own does not duplicate other programs. We like to promote and enhance the existing programs and those that are offered by Alberta Hunter Education Association or Alberta Wildlife Federation, and groups like that are also very important. And if you look at the hunting side, we've had those types of guests on the podcast to talk about their programs, their deliverables, what people can get from the organization. So we'll continue to do that on the fishing side. So complementing other programs is always a major goal of Harvest Your Own. We're looking forward to taking the next step into fishing. And, there's a contact tab on the website. So if there's something specific that you want to hear, whether it's hunting, fishing, or food related, please ask. There's your BrAdvice for the week. Look forward to more fishing information from Harvest Your Own. We hope to inspire people to reconnect with nature and appreciate where your food comes from by harvesting your own. For more information on getting started or to learn specifics about the Field to Fork experience, visit harvestyourown.ca and follow on Facebook and Instagram. Check back often for new material, recipes, and videos that are posted regularly. Please subscribe to Harvest Your Own podcast and take the time to rate and review the show to help us build a dedicated core of passionate hunters as our regular audience. Until next time, embrace the outdoors and all it has to offer. Thanks for joining us.